My boss fired me for building a desk at work. 3 years later, that desk made me more money than my entire corporate salary. Here's how getting fired saved my life. It was a Tuesday when everything changed. I was sitting in my gray cubicle, staring at my computer screen, when my cheap desk chair collapsed for the third time that month. HR said they'd look into getting me a new one, but we both knew that meant never. So I did what any reasonable person would do. I decided to build my own desk during lunch breaks. I smuggled in some pine boards piece by piece, hid my tools in my car, and spent every lunch hour in the parking garage, turning raw lumber into something that could actually hold my computer without wobbling. Word spread fast. Coworkers started gathering during lunch to watch me work. For the first time in 5 years at that company, I was creating something real with my hands, instead of pushing pixels around a screen. Then came the day my manager walked into the garage and found me hand sanding the desktop. His face went red. "This is company property," he said. "You're stealing company time and using our space for personal projects." I tried explaining that I was on my lunch break, that I was actually solving a problem HR wouldn't fix. But corporate logic doesn't work that way. 2 hours later, I was cleaning out my desk, ironically, the wobbly one I'd been trying to replace. Walking to my car with a cardboard box of belongings, I felt something I hadn't felt in years. Relief. For the first time since college, I had no idea what came next, and it was terrifying and exhilarating at the same time. That night, I finished the desk in my garage. Sitting there, running my hands over the smooth surface I'd created, I realized something powerful. In 8 hours of corporate work, I'd never felt the satisfaction I got from 2 hours of woodworking. The next morning, instead of job hunting, I posted a photo of that desk on Facebook with a simple caption: "Built this during my lunch breaks. Now, I need to build a new career. Anyone need custom furniture?" My phone started buzzing immediately. An old college friend wanted a bookshelf. My neighbor needed a coffee table. My sister's friend was looking for a dining set. Within a week, I had more work than I could handle. 3 months later, I'd made enough to cover my bills. 6 months later, I was turning down projects. A year later, I hired my first employee. Ironically, a guy who'd also been laid off from a soul-crushing office job. That desk I built in the parking garage, it's still my main workbench. Every time I look at it, I'm reminded that sometimes the worst thing that happens to you is actually the best thing in disguise. My old boss did me the biggest favor of my life. He forced me to choose between safety and authenticity, between a paycheck and a purpose, between existing and living. Now, I wake up excited to go to work. My hands are rough, my back aches, and I make sawdust for a living. But I've never been happier. Every piece I create carries a part of my story, and every client becomes part of my extended family. The corporate world taught me to be replaceable. Woodworking taught me to be irreplaceable. So if you're sitting in a cubicle right now, dreaming of making something real with your hands, take this as your sign. You don't have to quit your job tomorrow, but you can start building your future today, even if it's just during lunch breaks. Sometimes the best career move is the one that gets you fired.